Hello everybody, this is SolarFlare95 here once again with another installment of the Vocal Library series, a series in which I make an attempt to read all of the lore in Soul Calibur 6 to you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. Maxis Crew. When Maxi's father, a merchant for the Ryukyu Kingdom, died, Maxi gathered together a motley crew of his father's old shipmates and friends, and formed a group of pirates. Roles were divided among the group's members, each as necessary as the last, for sailing the seas and adventuring. One of them was knowledgeable of sea currents, trade winds, and sailing techniques. Another handled negotiations with foreign ships, and sometimes military vessels. Others, like Maxi, were adept at martial arts unique to Ryukyu. There was someone who crafted weapons for the crew, while somebody else settled how loot was to be divided. Though they called themselves pirates, their actual conduct was less that of swashbuckling rogues and more that of adventurers filled with curiosity and a thirst for exploration. Money Pit. An expansive, deep pit dug into a remote island in the Mediterranean. The merchant Verci amassed a sizable profit as an arms dealer in the war-torn world, selling weapons to those in power. Often called the Merchant of Death, he became entangled in the conflict consuming his home country of Italy, losing much of his property in the process. He first learned of this aboard his ship while searching for Soul Edge, taking into consideration the gold coins and various weapons of value, quite literally filling his ships. Verci devised a plan to protect his amassed fortune. He would purchase a remote island and construct a hidden vault to store his treasures. The construction of what he called his money pit took a considerable amount of time, and Verci ultimately passed away before its completion. The money pit drew the attention of thieves, adventurers, and any who sought to plunder its depths for treasure, though none were able to make it out alive, even if the intruders managed to make their way unscathed through the traps set to keep them at bay. Verci's loyal servant Voldo would be waiting to finish off the job. Outsider. An outsider, as defined by the Evolve organization, generally refers to those who have succumbed to evil energy and become malfested. Normally, those suspected of being outsiders are investigated by intelligence. Should they indeed be deemed as an outsider, they are then disposed of by the organization's punitive force. Anyone devoid of human reason is, without fail, subject to the organization's punishment. Master Swordsman's Cavern, Azure Horizon. A stone cave temple nestled deep in the Himalayan mountains. It is believed to have been constructed several hundred years ago by followers of a particular Hindu sect. Devout practitioners once flocked to the temple, climbing the treacherous mountain path to worship there. These days, however, the temple remains desolate and abandoned. Only an old hermit, cast aside by society, secretly calls this former religious site home, though some say they have seen what appear to be young men in the area, perhaps disciples of the temple's only resident. Although the temple itself is a shadow of its former glory, the area surrounding it had retained its beauty. The pristine air around the temple highlands crowns a nearby body of water that shimmers a beautiful azure, blending perfectly with the blue sky, as if the two were one continuous surface. The limpid stream that courses near the decaying temple continues to flow, paying no mind to the constant change and singularity strife found in the human world. Eventually, it reaches the ocean and ascends to the heavens before returning to the earth as rain, symbolizing the infinite flow of time. Indian Port, impending storm. A port town located on India's eastern coast, it is frequented by a wide variety of ships, ranging from large galleons to those barely afloat, with many entering the port to trade goods and transport people. What appear to be unloaded sharks can be seen hanging just beyond the gate on the docks. Goods that are afloated here are given to local merchants to be sold along trade routes further inland. The port has flourished as a base for trade and was once a bustling hub of activity, though the area is now scarcely populated, forcing many sailors to leave as soon as they arrive. With a storm approaching, Maxie has arrived in town, looking for wares. Little does he know, something else is lying in store for him. Alright guys, that is going to do it for another installment of the Vocal Library series. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.